Congressional Black Caucus introduces bill to tax people for being white. Connecticut pipe delusional Democrats in the Congressional Black Caucus have reportedly renewed their ill-conceived efforts to force white Americans to pay for the sins of some of their ancestors. Specifically, Michigan Representative John Conyers and his fellow CBC members have reintroduced legislation that would set up a commission to consider whether reparations should be paid to Black Americans for slavery, according to the Washington Examiner. Conyers has reportedly been proposing the bill every year for at least 2 decades. As noted by the Examiner, the bill would also consider the prospect of the federal government issuing a formal apology for the racial and economic discrimination against African Americans. This despite the fact that slavery was outlawed over 150 years ago and not every white American's ancestors partook in the hideous trade, or were even in the country at the time. Moreover, according to the Root magazine, known for its usually unapologetically pro-black stance on the issues, even some free Black Americans bought and sold other Black people, and did so at least since 1654, continuing to do so right through the Civil War. And even one of the most leftist papers in existence, the New York Times, admitted 2 years ago that were a reparations bill passed into law, payments would have to come from taxpayers, who have no culpability for those past crimes and little, if any, of the benefit. Unless the government were to use only the funds of white taxpayers, which would be inherently racist, reparations would therefore be funded by Americans of all races, including Black Americans. The bill was to all intents and purposes economically unfeasible, historically inaccurate, and a royal waste of time, one likely rooted in animosity as well as ignorance. Over 150 years have passed since America's darkest days, and within that time frame, the nation has become one of the most tolerant countries on earth, as reported 3 years ago by the Washington Post. Most tolerant country. As bad as slavery was, and there's no arguing that it was a horrific national sin, the time has long since come to let the issue go. That would certainly be better than flogging a dead horse, one that ought to be long buried in this day and age. Please share this story on Facebook and Twitter and let us know what you think about the Congressional Black Caucus renewing its efforts to impose reparations on the nation.